Yes, ma'am, please.
Welcome all to the session 2 of Bharat Meri Nazar Se. I'm delighted to have you all again on this forum for youth. It's your views, your voice, as we always say. And this is your chance to spread out your views, give out your views, what you think about what your country needs to do, needs to build, needs to how your country needs to change. So you yourselves have picked up what you think is the greatest challenge your country faces today. And then your suggestions how you could improve upon that. How good is that? It's been great. In the first session on the 31st, a few days back, when we had all of you giving out your views, and we were really amazed and, in fact, quite hopeful. It was a very happy experience for us, all of our co-judges and the jury, everyone. And I hope, I am sure, in fact, that all of you will similarly amaze us like last time. So again, I welcome all of you to the forum. And without spending too much time, let's just get the ball rolling in Bharat Meri Nazar Se, session 2. To start with, I will introduce you all to Ms. Namrata Bobde. Welcome, ma'am. Ms. Namrata, who will moderate the session. Namrata ma'am is an educator. Her subjects are science and mathematics, but she is doing so much. She is an NEP ambassador. She's a certified parenting coach. She is coordinator of Worldwide Green Project for Uttarakhand and has been a very inspirational author. She's a speaker. She's a resource person. She's doing a lot of work all rounder. So thank you so much, Namrata ma'am, for finding time out for these children of ours. I hope you will find this time well spent and enjoy the evening. And thank you so much for coming once again.
Thank you so much, Shweta ma'am, for that lovely introduction, and thank you for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to witness this wonderful show once again. Thank you so much. Uh, well, that was about my introduction. I am really a very small and getting inspired by these lovely people among us. So let's start with Ms. Dhana Pillai. She is a qualified lawyer from India, has bachelor's in bank management and master's in international tax law from Leiden University, and alternative finance program from Harvard Business School. She has 15 years of experience in PE funds. Ms. Dhana has also worked with Deloitte and Dentons and Lives and works in Oman currently. She writes on LexisNexis on alternative finance and data protection. So, Ms. Dhana, a few words from your side, please.
Oh, thank you so much, Navrata. That was a very long introduction of mine. I'm very glad to be here. First of all, I have to thank Shweta, my friend, and someone who shares my thoughts as well as my field. I'm really grateful for her for inviting me for this wonderful event because, as you said, that I've been away from the country for a very long time. About 20 years I've not been in India, and I hardly come there once in a year for 15 days or something like that. And this event actually brings me so closer to the younger generation. I feel so happy. I did attend the last event. I was not the judge or anything. I was witnessing it. It was very nostalgic for me because I've been a participant in many of these sort of events, and I'm not judging, but trying to score the children or encourage them is a great thing. Thank you so much for inviting. Thanks, Shweta. Thanks, Namrata, for the introduction. Thanks, everyone.
So Ms. Dhana certainly proves that distance doesn't matter, although she is away for so many years. But yes, her heart still lies in India. So thank you, Dhana ma'am. Moving further, Ms. Pas Queen Santan Kasi. She has 17 years experience in the educational field. She has started her career as a teacher, then started working as a teacher as well as in admin. She is currently principal of Vision International School in Maharashtra. She also has some achievements on her side. She has received the Best Teacher Award in 2016. She has been awarded the Certificate of Excellence in Inclusive Education by the All India Principals Association, and she has also been awarded with the Nari to Narayani Sanman. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a wonderful introduction. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Shweta ma'am for considering me for this event. And I wish all the participants all the best. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, now moving up to our next judge. Sir, I purposely kept you after the ladies. Please don't mind because you have so many things to say, which I won't be able to list all, but yes, would try to. So this is Brigadier Dr. Sunil Kumar Modgiyal. He is retired. He is BTech. He has so many qualifications. So he is a BTech from IIT BHU. He has done his PGDMM, PGDM, MBA, and PhD in management. He is an international master trainer leadership coach. He is an author, he is a motivational speaker, and he is also the founder and CEO of the Modgil Learning and Development Solutions. He is, of course, by hearing all this, we come to know that he is a multifaceted professional with over 3 decades of excellence in the field of leadership, training and development during the army service, and 1 decade plus thereafter in the corporate and educational world. So now we all know why Brigadier sir is here along with us. No more words from my side, sir. Please do motivate our children too.
Thank you very much, ma'am, Namrata, ma'am. Such a beautiful introduction of mine. You have put a lot of responsibility on my shoulder. That's okay. You know, I always love to be among the younger or the budding leaders because I have one, very close to my heart. One learning what I always have is the reverse mentoring. I'm very fond of learning from people those are young. I just to share that my grandson is about 5 years and he takes the coaching for the chess, and I am little poor on the weak on the chess vis-a-vis him. So he plays with me and he always defeat me. So I love to learn from him. So you can imagine I can go to any level to learn from people. So reverse mentoring, I love it so much. So today is a chance among students. I am so fortunate. So that's why my compliments and thank you to Shweta ma'am and Sudhakar sir for making me part of this beautiful journey. Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction of mine. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Namrata ma'am, before we begin the show, Sudhakar sir, I can see you on screen. Are you there? Oh, yes, Sudhakar sir. Namaskar. Let us welcome Sudhakar sir to the show. He is President Dr. Kalam India Foundation. Dr. Kalam India Foundation, on whose platform all of you children are present today. And I am Shweta Singh. I am founder Economics Exclusive. I'm coach, mentor, and learning designer. And this show is also powered by SKILLSertifika Global and Champs World School. Sudhakar sir is the founder Champs World School, and I request Sudhakar sir to please say a few words and encourage the children.
I'm so glad to be here, and I welcome everybody here. Modgil sir is also honorary patron for Dr. Kalam India, and he is always there with us. Whatever, I remember on 15th of August, he got so many, invitations from various universities and colleges. But he said no. And he said that we'll celebrate at Champs World School, and we'll celebrate for Dr. Kalam India and Champs World School. So that kind of love we get from him. And Shweta ma'am is the co-founder with Dr. Kalam India Foundation. I'll say just two sentences for our budding youngsters. आओ हम भारत की बात लिखते हैं, आओ हम भारत की बात लिखते हैं, मिले जो साथ हैं तो भारत की इतिहास लिखते हैं. So when we have come together, let us do something together that we regain the lost pride of India. And I don't know whether these youngsters have gone through the website of Dr. Kalam India Foundation and Facebook page of Dr. Kalam India Foundation. We are constantly working on the vision of Dr. Abdul Kalam, Vision 2020. And we are working, his vision was that we should be a great Indian only when we would be a great human being along with a great professional. So for that, we are working on art, culture, and heritage that will make a great human being. And along with that, we are integrating this with innovation and entrepreneurship, so that India produces a great professional. So clubbing together, India can regain its the lost pride. So with these words, I'm so glad to be here and seeing all these uh, youngsters here, and I wish them all the best. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Over to you, Namrata ma'am.
So yes, like Sudhakar sir very rightly said, we should now get back to our roots, and yes, technology as well as our culture should go hand in hand. Let's begin with our show. I'll call out the name of the participant thrice. Total, you have 5 minutes of time for your presentation. After 4 minutes and 30 seconds, a buzzer would be there just for an intimation that you have 30 seconds more. You might be aware that if you overdo your time, if you extend your time, so the points will be given accordingly. I hope I'm clear. So the first participant is Anmol Kamboj from Chandigarh. Anmol Kamboj from Chandigarh.
I'll be presenting. I hope you can see.
We can all see very well.
Anmol, we can.
Okay, so today we all are gathered here to discuss the India's challenges, and from my side, I, Anmol Kamboj, will be discussing about unbalanced economic growth of India. Indian economy has experienced an average annual growth rate of around 6% during the last 2 decades. Though the moderate compared to the performance of several East Asian economies during the same period, this was quite impressive compared to the performance of Indian economy during the preceding 3 decades, when the average growth rate logged 3.5% per annum. Even the growth rate of 3.5% experienced during the first 3 decades of the Republic India had been spectacularly better. The average compound growth rate per annum was 5.7% for the sixth 5-year plan and 6% for seventh 5-year plan, and at last 6.6% for eighth 5-year plan. While the growth rate dropped to 3.1% during the 2-year period 1990 to 1992, in the wake of international payment crisis and the introduction of major economic reforms, the growth process picked up fast in the subsequent years. Indeed, the growth averaged about 7.5% during the 3-year period ending 1996 to 67. This table focuses on the differential growth in per capita incomes of the two groups of states over the last 2 decades. All the states in the forward group except Haryana and Punjab have improved their relative position over the last 2 decades. Further, these improvements were more spectacular since 1990 and 91, especially in Gujarat, Kerala, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. Now, as it is said that India has hundreds of problems and millions of solutions. For solutions of for so the solutions for this unbalanced growth that India is facing is that there is reduction of regional disparities, and these regional disparities should be looked upon as a national objective. The strength of building depends on the strength of its weakest pillar. In a similar way, the strength of Indian economy depends on the strength of the economies of the weakest states. Similarly, the bottom line of India's human development will depend on the incomes and socio-demographic indicators of development in northern and eastern India. While the development of depressed regions is a national responsibility, the solution mainly rests with the local leadership of the country. Unless the local leadership, political, bureaucratical, and intellectual, resolve to usher in development based on sharing the gains of egalitarian basis with the masses, result will be hard to come by. Resources are not the real constraint. The real constraint is the way the resources are spent. Large sums are spent on education and healthcare in the backward states, but the results are not there. This happens because the teachers and medical personnel who are expected to provide the specific service draw their salaries but provide poor services or maybe no services at all. Unless this kind of work culture in public services changes, funds alone will not solve the problem of unbalanced growth in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Anmol. This was an interesting topic, and the unbalanced growth of India, actually my genre. Um,
You might be very happy, na, Shweta ma'am? All economics, start to end.
Thank you, Anmol, for that. And you're right. The strength of the country lies on its weakest pillar, the weakest states, and they should be the benchmark or to find out how resilient the country is and what needs to be done. So that should be the benchmark. And you're right. I do not completely agree with your point of view that resources are adequate, but just not entirely spent. Sometimes resources are not adequate. But of course, your perspective is definitely. We liked it. I would like Modgil sir to give 2 bits on Anmol's thought process. What do you feel about it?
Sir, you need to unmute yourself.
Sir, आप muted
Yeah.
हैं.
Yeah, and Mo has got a good knowledge about the subject, what she picked it up. But my still take is no, there's nothing wrong with her. She's absolutely right. It's her own perspective. Is it only the economy which is the single challenge that India is facing, or is the educational aspects? Is the environmental issue? Is the water issue which is going to be there? People don't have clean water to drink, or is it? I mean, you picked up something very beautiful. But are there other aspects which you think is that environmental issues are much more important? Is the education is much more important? If the education is taken care, if it is inclusive, the growth will naturally come up. So it's a great idea. I'm very happy the idea what you presented. I'm very happy. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, great, Anmol. What would you say about why do you feel this particular problem is the most biggest challenge that India is facing? Just one sentence on this.
Just like sir said just now, that why not other things like education and water problems and all. I believe that while the economic structure is balanced, it itself will bring out those problems, balance those problems also. Like I mentioned in my last slide, that the teachers, the resources, when they are paid but they are not giving their appropriate services, this lacks down the education indeed, and therefore it makes economic unbalance growth of India a major problem in the country.
Okay, Anmol, we respect your thought process. Thank you.
Thank you.
So again, yes, Anmol, that was your personal perspective. Although many of us might not agree to it, but yes, we do respect your thoughts, of course. So
Thank
moving
you.
on to the next participants, it's Adrika from Chandigarh.
Yes, ma'am. Just a second, ma'am. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Adrika, it's visible. Perfect.
I'm starting, ma'am. The perceived goal of education to make an individual and the society better seems to be missing in its current form. In our rush to get everybody educated, we do not consider it important to ask individuals why we need education. Unemployment is the result of craze among the educated youth for white collar jobs. Lack of education and vocational guidance facilities are some of the other factors which contribute for unemployment. Greetings to my worthy fellow contestants and honorable judges. Myself, Adrika, and
Excuse
Bharat
me,
Meri
your
Nazar
camera is
Se.
on? Yeah, excuse me, your camera is on?
Yes, sir.
So
Actually,
she is
if I
presenting
share,
it from a mobile. Maybe that's why we
Okay,
can't see.
okay, fine. Thank you.
Continue, Adrika.
myself, Adrika, and Bharat Meri Nazar Se is facing a problem of educated unemployment, and so is my topic: educated unemployment, an unseen problem. India's educated youth are facing some serious issues like educated unemployment and underemployment. It is due to the mismatch between the aspirations of graduates and employment opportunities available to them. A person is said to be unemployed if he or she is looking for a work or is willing to work at the prevailing wage but is unable to find the job. Let us now refer to some statistics. About 2 million graduates and a half of million of postgraduates are unemployed in India. It is interesting to note that the level of unemployment increases with the level of education. At the primary level, unemployment is 3.6%, which increases to 5.2% at matriculation. It rises to 8% at graduation and further to 9.3% at the postgraduate level. The most important reasons for unemployment among Indian literate youth are shortage of jobs, non-availability of suitable jobs, and family responsibilities. The problem of not getting a suitable job is faced more by urban youth, that is 48%, than rural, that is 46%. And now here I would like to put some forward various reasons behind the educated unemployment. Number one is educational institutions. Education has just become a profession. Colleges are being set up not to give quality education but to earn money. Every year, our educational institutions are producing thousands of graduates and postgraduates. These people refuse to take any manual work. Thus, our educational system needs a drastic change. Another factor for increased unemployment is the pressure from parents. It is seen in Indian community that the parents put his son after getting 95% in science stream in view to make an engineer or a doctor. Parents hardly think what his child wants to study or what are his wishes. Third is running behind the trend. Some time back, there was a high demand of management courses. Each one wanted to be a manager. Nowadays, craze of engineering has gone sky high. Students move to private colleges and take admission. According to the latest report by NASSCOM, only 25% of engineering graduates in India are employable. This is because of poor quality of education in engineering colleges. There are some other reasons also, such as increasing population, recession, inflation, nepotism, demand of highly skilled labor, etc. Every cause produces more than one effect, and so here are some effects of educated unemployment. It has been observed that one year of unemployment reduces the life expectancy by 5 years. Hypertension, cardiac problems, psychoneurosis, depression, suicide are rising among the youth. Also, other behaviors, including joining anti-social groups, alcoholism, drug addiction, smoking, and rash driving behaviors have also increased. Low economic growth is also another cause effect. Higher income inequalities and disparities leading to nothing but poverty. The amount of effort you put in directly related to the amount of gains you will make. Let us now see what all efforts are made toward the reduction of educated unemployment and what all we can do. Efforts made by the government. Prime Minister's Yojana for educated unemployed youth. Scheme for educated unemployed for employment generation in urban localities. Scheme of self-employment for educated unemployed youth. And scheme for new initiatives in skill development through PPP by Planning Commission of India. Here are some remedies and solutions to educated unemployment. The main remedy lies in the rapid industrialization, the need of faster growth, economic growth to generate more jobs, the need of improvements in the education and training provided to the youth with a greater focus on vocational skills and self-employment. The government support to struggling industries is necessary to try to save jobs. Promoting education, especially female education, enhanced focus on entrepreneurial communication and interpersonal skill development. Increased crosstalk between public-private, formal-informal, or educational enterprises. Integrated counseling evaluation and career guidance initiatives. Now, I would like to conclude my presentation here. As in many other matters relating to social sector, there has been more rhetoric than action, and the implementation of the recommended policies has been woefully unsatisfactory. The International Commission on Education UNESCO report says education must be organized around 4 pillars of knowledge, that is, learning to know, learning to do, earning to live together, and learning to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adrika. Your slides were very impressive, I must say. Now I hope
Thank
we
you,
can
ma'am.
see you. Where are you? Yeah. Okay, Adrika. Ms. Dhana, I would like to hear your views on this.
I'm glad you picked me. I really enjoyed Adrika's presentation for two reasons. One is that it was content filled because there was a lot of content. And she started out one problem that is about that parents channelizing the children's interest into some fields. But she did not say that about when she correlated the solutions to the problem, she did not give a solution for that problem which she raised. Probably your parents are around. The other comments which I have about your presentation is that, first of all, because you increased a lot of content, it was quite broad. It was you did not go deep into any of the topics you covered. You tried to cover a lot of things, and it was more like a blame game. Like there's so many reasons why there's unemployment in the country. Because I feel that you could have compartmentalized, like, for example, there are some social reasons, there are some political reasons, there are some economic reasons why unemployment comes to play. The one thing that you did very well was that you first segregated the problems and then you moved on, very transited very nicely into the solutions. That was very good. The other thing which I want to say you about was that when you said about that there is a lack of quality of education, and then you said there is unemployment, because you see, when you say that there is a lack of quality, then there is unemployment because of lack of quality, then there is probably jobs that are vacant and unfilled by people. Then that is not an unemployment problem, because that is more like a HR problem. There's a shortage of human resources adequately to be able to meet some certain jobs. I think you should have differentiated a little bit about that, so that, because I do understand that you would have understood all of these things, but that has to come out in the presentation. And you touched upon the mental health, and then you moved on to the solutions. That's where I expected you to say more about how youth must be, or children must be taught from the childhood to empower themselves, to take their life. I mean, they should lead their life more into their own interest. And so then they know, first of all, what is they are better at, and they become best at. That's okay if it's not engineering or doctor, then they become an entrepreneur. And also, because this is Kalam Foundation, I had an opportunity to meet Sir Abdul Kalam when he came to Netherlands when I was working there. And he emphasized that youths of today should become more entrepreneurial. And he emphasized that our education system must give that liberty to children to fail. Now, what we are doing most of the time is that the children must succeed. But he said that, and he quoted that in his life itself, he has failed many times, and he was given an opportunity to fail. So those are the things that I was actually expecting that you will mention in the solutions, which you did not. But it was very good presentation. Given 5 minutes, even I would be able to present only that much. Well done.
Very well done, Adrika. Given the 5 minutes, you did cover the topic extensively. That was very impressive. And please take the suggestions from Ms. Dhana constructively. She has given you a lot of things to think about.
Sure, ma'am, sure.
Moving on to the
Good job
next
done.
participant.
Yeah, very good.
It's Swapnil Patel from Kanpur. Swapnil Patel from Kanpur. Swapnil Patel. Are you here, Swapnil? We'll move on to the next participant. When Swapnil comes, ma'am, he'll put a message. Is that fine? So the next participant, Abhishek Katiyar from Uttar Pradesh. Abhishek Katiyar from Uttar Pradesh. Abhishek Katiyar from Uttar Pradesh. The next participant, Preksha Mahesh from Karnataka. Preksha Mahesh.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be presenting my screen. Is my screen being shared?
Yes.
Okay.
Judges, please note Preksha Mahesh from Karnataka.
Good evening, everybody. I am Preksha Madhavi Mahesh. I study in grade 9 from Daffodils Foundation for Learning, Bengaluru, Karnataka. And let's start with a very inspiring quote from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. You cannot change your future, but you can change your habits, and surely your habits will change your future. And this just says that mindset is everything. It's just in the play of the mind. And you'll get to know how these quotes will be connected to my presentation today. So, Bharat Meri Nazar Se, the biggest challenge that India faces and the way ahead. India is a gifted land. May it be the resources, may it be the people, may it be the culture, the traditions. India is, I would say, gifted. And it is shining in a lot of fields, may it be sports, business, movies, economy, everywhere India has made its spot. Now we know that India is gifted and India is very talented. But then where is the problem? Where lies the problem and how can we solve that? The answer is our mindsets, the way we think, the prejudices and stereotypes we create. There might be, so many problems like economy, education, but everything starts from very small thing, and that is our mindsets. Prejudice is forming an opinion about something even before knowing the truth. Stereotypes are taking forward these prejudices and spreading it all over. Discrimination, inequality arise from stereotypes. This takes away opportunities from people and pulls them back from displaying their talents and doing good for the country, just for the sake that people will not accept it. So if I want to do something, but I see people around me speaking about it and not supporting me, just pushing me back, then I will feel there's no use doing it. And we may never know what talent I have. And if I was given support at the right place, then maybe something amazing would have happened even in the terms of country. And that is where the problem lies. Here are a few things that we get to commonly hear in India. Men are the breadwinners of the family. Only they should be educated. So why should women work? Let them work in the home. He is so dusky. I'm sure he'll not get any job. Ask him to apply some fairness cream. Their family has their tribe name as surname. They must be poor and uneducated. I mean, what are the tribals good for? Tomorrow is a holiday for voting. I'm going on a trip with my family. All these things are something we get to hear every day, and each and every word over here is wrong because this is completely unfair. We have heard of the song Sare Jahan Se Acha Hindustata Hamara, and according to me, we should have जो हम मिलकर बनाएंगे, because unity is diversity, united we stand, divided we fall, and everything starts from the unity of people, from what people do. So what is the solution? What is the way ahead? How can we solve this problem that we have? The answer is 3S. S for stop the stereotypes. If you are one of them spreading something wrong, stop it. If you see others doing it, stop it, because it can cause a lot of issues, maybe mental health, or maybe anything even little as a person not stepping out of their zone and displaying their talents. Then support people to do good. People who are doing good, motivate them, because that can help them to a large extent. And serve the nation in every way possible, may it be small or big. Do your duty. And that is all that matters. It all starts with you. And here lies the another solution. If you want to see a change in this world, then you should initiate it. follow the 3S, and tell people about it. This change can be brought in by spreading awareness. Encourage people to do something good. Give them some courage and support. Involve them in serving the nation. You will see what a big change you can bring to our country. There are so many people around us with so much talent, but they are getting scared because of the people around them, because of the prejudices, because of the stereotypes. Just imagine if they would have got the proper opportunity, they would be such gems to the country. When people are given freedom to express, their talents will surely bring prosperity and progress to the country. Are you ready to start the change? Are you ready to spread the change? Are you ready to be the change? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Preksha. This was a fresh breath of air, I must say, an absolutely new thought process, which I love to hear. And I would throw the floor open for all the judges for this question. Ms. Paskin, you can probably begin. What did you think about this?
Yes, first of all, I think I would begin with
Thank
this.
you, ma'am.
Lovely. I loved each and every point. It was not artificial or just for the sake of delivering. I felt you related each and everything as a youth. What can I contribute? What can I do? So every question or whatever you delivered was not what the government has to do, what the others have to do. So I like the three S of yours: how to stop, support, and serve. And then it all starts with you. Yes, I totally agree with you. It's all starts with me. What can I do? How can I contribute for the development of the country? Right. And yes, I think we all should be ready to contribute in that manner. So well done. It was really inspiring. I
Thank you,
like
ma'am.
that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Sunil, sir, what would you
Yes.
have to say on this?
Yes, it's a great presentation, very beautifully presented. I have small point for my friend. Uh, you're not supposed to read slides. You were presenting so beautifully. Three, four slides were so big. You started reading every word of it, but it had a lot of meaning. You should generally have not more than 80-20. Your slide should have. It's meant for all. Other presenters also which are going to come, or the one which is gone. 70 to 80% must be a picture. We always say the picture is worth 1,000 words. Then words should be limited on that, and you're supposed to remember and then speak, and you should have a conviction what you are going to say. Otherwise, the presentation was great. You picked up the point from Dr. Abdul Kalam. The main issue was the habits. Looking at the habits, and the way ma'am has also brought it out. You had those beautiful formula for 3S and all that stuff. I also believe that I put people in three categories. One is those make things happen. Second is those watch things happen. We had won few Olympic medals. The whole nation was watching. We have T22. The whole country is watching. I was in Kankinara near Calcutta. There used to be matches between Mohun Bagan, East Bengal and all that. The organization wanted to have a off for the day to watch the match. Second kind of people are the one those watch things happen. Third is not even, they don't fall into these two categories, and they always talk about what has happened. They are even that much late in knowing stuff. So you have put people in the first category. I'm very liking it. I like that idea that you are supposed to perform by yourself, and by picking up the habit is the major issue in the country than issues of environment, education, whatever issues we have, the water. It is only the attitude and the habit is the issue which is creating all that. Very a good presentation from my side.
Thank you,
My
sir.
compliments.
Thank you, sir. And very interestingly, this, as Paskin ma'am also said, that this puts the onus to us, what we can do. And Preksha, these are very interesting suggestions that sir is giving you, and everyone present here. We also had a graphic analyst and a web presence and communication specialist in the last session, and she gave very nice insights about slide presentations, which I would also like to reinforce for you. That you should have if you have a very busy background, then it is difficult to read stuff on it. Okay, so either you balance the background and the stuff, take care of the colors, don't put too much content on it, otherwise you're superb. Nana ma'am, what would you say?
Yeah, I liked all the presenters. So, all the three presenters. What I generally observe is that it's their idea, right? That is what they think, that if something changes around them, then they can see their country better and more visionful. So everybody. So with Rani's presentation, what I felt was that she was brilliant in choosing something very small. So it's not a very big topic, and also it's more a citizens initiative. It's a personal initiative more than a country's initiative, or you have to depend on a political party or somebody who comes to rule or the government to take this initiative. This can even come, and we are seeing that happening. And because your presentation was more poetic, I want to say that poets are the ones who actually brought down many changes to any society. And you can see currently the movies, they have changed. They've changed about fairness screens, and there's some Tamil movies that released during the coronavirus where heroines acted without makeup, just to make sure that that thing has to go away, that because they are able to look more beautiful than the other girls because they put makeup. And so they wanted to just take that away very bravely, and they did look very ordinary in the movies. Like the other girls who are sitting next to them looks more beautiful than them. So they were ready to give up all of this image, and those are happening. And it's a very current topic that you chose. The brilliance there is that because it was a very small topic, you could go more deep into it. I enjoyed. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
So yes, Preksha, very well presented, and everyone is so very happy with you. The takeaway from your presentation: be the change that you want to see. So yes, we need to take the initiatives now. Moving on to the next participant, it's Tivisha Bhatia from Uttar Pradesh. Tivisha Bhatia from Uttar Pradesh. Tivisha, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, just a second. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, Tivisha, it is.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I am Tivisha, and I'll be presenting what I think is one of the problems that India is facing today: illiteracy. Illiteracy is one of the biggest problems that India is facing in contemporary world. It is the mother of various problems like child labor, dowry, corruption, poverty. In layman language, illiteracy is not able to read and write in any language. Bihar, Jharkhand, UP are amongst the bottom 5 states in terms of illiteracy of Dalits. Majority of Indian population is still illiterate. Majority of people are illiterate from rural areas. Since most of the people are from rural areas, job opportunity for them is very low, creating huge dependency on agriculture. This creating an unequal distribution of wealth. In spite of various schemes and initiatives by government to promote illiteracy are not satisfactory. Even there is a wide gap in literacy ratio of male and female. India is a male-dominated society, and thus the right of education seems owed only to them. Illiteracy leads to unemployment. People who are literate can easily get jobs based on their qualification skill set. They are able to generate income they need to run their family. Out of 116 million Indians who are seeking available work, 32 millions are illiterate and 84 are literate. Illiteracy leads to unemployment that further leads to poverty. 22% Indians fall below poverty lines. It is estimated that half of the nation population lacks even basic literary skills. Not knowing their basic rights can suppress the upcoming generation. They can be socially insecure, and due to poverty, kids and their parents will prefer that they earn money more than they will prefer to get educated. I I think that the solution of this problem is to expand childhood education, that primary schooling should be free and compulsory for all. In conclusion, I would like to say that literacy is a strong weapon which can root social issues like dowry, corruption, child labor. Literate population can contribute many folds in economic and social development of the nation. Then, literacy is the key. Thank you.
Thank you, Tivisha. A very pertinent problem which has stayed since a very long time. But I think we're doing progress on this. Don't you think so?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me in a sentence, why did you choose this particular topic, illiteracy?
As I said, that illiteracy is the mother of various problems, and in my daily life also, I see when the maids are working in my house and they bring their own little children. So I think they should be attending school more than they should be at my house. So I think that's why I just picked this topic.
That is very interesting, and that is what
I think you should talk
gives.
to Adrika because she spoke about unemployment problems. So you both should resolve. She said if she's no, many people study, then there is unemployment. Just joking.
True. But Devisha, the very fact that the reason that you gave for choosing this problem, that is in fact, you should have told that in your presentation. That's very beautiful. Paskin ma'am, what would you say to Devisha?
Yes, Shweta ma'am, I totally agree with you. After the way she answered your question, I think if that topic should have taken, it would have been more impressive. So,
Doesn't matter.
otherwise,
You
I felt
combine
like
that you combine that to the presentation and see it in a new light now.
no, in my point of view, I felt like she was just reading the slides. So I didn't find it very up to the mark, like what she wanted to convince, maybe she was not able to throw lights on it.
So that was the reason I asked you that why did you pick up the problem? Because if you pick up a problem, then you definitely feel something about it, and that was the reason which made you research into it. So you gave us the researches and all the results, but you didn't give us that personal reason why you chose, and that was a very interesting thing that you told in the end, which I think the judges might maybe add in their thought process while they are judging her. I think she might be interested in giving us the
I have some
facts and the
comments.
problems. Yes, ma'am.
I have
Sure.
some comments here. Yeah. So Tivisha, thanks for presenting. When we talk about the illiteracy, because illiteracy, changes over a period of time, and it takes different forms. Like at the time of independence or before independence, illiteracy could have meant something that somebody who cannot write the name. And as we, step into globalization, it's very easy that you would even see some flower vendor who never attended a school would be able to do a lot of things surrounding illiteracy. Why I bring this topic is that because since you said that illiteracy is the mother of all problems, which is true, and then you said that could even stop dowry issues. Are you sure about it? Because you know that how many very educated women go through dowry problems, and they actually put themselves into dowry problem. I'm talking about someone who is a CEO of a bank, that level, and they step into dowry problems. When you talk about illiteracy, because it's a very big topic, you could have picked, made it into a smaller topic. Everybody who speaks about bigger topics like unemployment, this is what I feel, because it's only 5 minutes. It's very difficult to fill that 5 minutes with the content rich and go deeper. So when we talk about illiteracy, it could be only a primary school education where a child of 10 years old cannot do the sums, mathematics, and English. That's the UNICEF's definition for illiteracy, because now we have sustainable program that's going on in UNICEF also, that's been, because I'm attached with Katha, and that's a non-profit organization who takes care of educating the younger children below the age of 10. And so they address only the problem of doing the sums. They have to be able to do some mathematical problems and be able to achieve some language standard, and that's what is called as illiteracy. But if you go towards the illiteracy about understanding the life and understanding the social problems that may come into it, it's endless. Probably we are all here learning, because then we are
We're
all
all
illiterate.
illiterate in some sense. Yeah.
Illiterate. Yeah, like I am so illiterate about many things about computers. I don't know many things about computers. So when you choose topic like this, literacy type of topics, probably because there's only 5 minutes, tell exactly what illiteracy that we are talking about here. Primary school education, age of 10, easily we can all understand. Yeah, but it was nice. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, that was a very
Ma'am, I
nice
have one more
input for
question to
everyone.
Shweta.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Shweta, ma'am, I have a question to Miss Divisha. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Yes,
Most
ma'am.
welcome.
Please continue.
Yes, the scenario is like this. I know a person who is a close relative of mine. He has not been to a formal school, but comparatively, I feel he's more educated than the people among us who have gone to school. So, do you consider him as illiterate or literate? He has
I
all
think
the
that's
knowledge
a
of
very
everything.
complicated question that you asked me. But if we just talk about that, if I go to some job interview, they will just see my resume and they will think that, oh, she is like something and she have done something in economics or something like that. So the main thing that they will hire me is for my education, right? Uh, I think it doesn't matter, right, if you are not educated or kind of thing like that.
Okay, but if you have to be a businesswoman, so what would you consider for your?
Um, uh,
Would you go for the qualification or would you go for the knowledge that the person is having?
well, I will go for the knowledge, of course.
So you would make the change.
Yeah, of course, of course.
That's nice.
Yes, and talking about such instance, such people are also called as educated illiterates, which we have witnessed so many of people during this Corona time. Many of the politicians or many of the white collared who refuse to wear their mask. So that's what they are, educated illiterates according to me. But that's fine. So let's move to another participant, Vivekananda Bechbal from Karnataka.
Yes, ma'am.
Vivekananda.
Yes, ma'am. One second, ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Oh, ma'am.
Yes,
I'm on
yes, we
mobile
can
phone.
see you also. I think we can pin his presentation.
Or I can just start the presentation with the sharing the presentation.
Ma'am, can you
It's on
see
a,
it, ma'am?
I can see it because I've pinned it. I
Okay,
don't know
ma'am.
whether the other judges can. Please confirm.
No, I cannot see it.
It's on one window, ma'am. You can maybe pin it on your screen.
Okay. Yes, I can see it now. It's coming on the
Okay,
first
ma'am.
page.
So let's start then, Vivekananda.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all the
Bharat
best.
Meri Nazar Se.
Just a
I want
minute,
to.
Vivek. Would you please switch on your camera if that's possible? Can it?
Okay, ma'am. I will try. Um,
You're not on your phone, are you? Yeah, good.
yes, ma'am. Can you see me? Yes, ma'am. Bharat Meri
Yes, we
Nazar
can,
Se.
sure.
Okay, ma'am.
Oh, he's
Bharat Meri
disappeared
Nazar
again.
Se. The problem India faces today and the way ahead. Today I'm going to talk about the normal problems India faces today, like the problems of COVID-19 in India. The COVID-19 is the biggest problem faced by India. Not only in India, it's the biggest problem faced by the whole world. Even after COVID-19, the country had not lost its hope and is trying to defeat COVID-19 by using normal safety measures like only going out of the house when necessary, very necessary, wearing a mask in correct conditions, and using sanitizer whenever needed, and not touching things outside. However, the scientist of India has found vaccines for COVID-19, and the vaccines has been started, and so many people have took the vaccines for the people of age above 18 years. But the scientists are very trying very hard to find vaccines for children. Um, and the problems that the pharma faces in India are they are not getting a good quality of seeds. The farmers are not getting uh, because the crops, ma'am, the farmers have different problems because they are not getting the good quality of seed. The crops are growing damaged, or the grains are not good, uh, and etc. Some reasons, ma'am. The government of India is trying hard to give the farmers a nice quality of seeds. They have the lack of modern equipments, ma'am. There are many modern things which came for irrigation, but the poor farmers cannot afford them to buy. So they should use ox instead of tractors and others, ma'am. Irrigation system, small holding of lands, ma'am. They have only a little amount of land in which they can grow the crops. If they want to grow so many crops, they cannot afford to buy new land. They deal with local traders and middlemen to get the seeds for growing, on the condition that they should buy the things from the traders at high prices, and sell back to them at low prices. They also have the lack of storage facilities. Due to the lack of the storage facilities, they can't store many grains. If rain comes or any other things happen, then the half of the things are wasted, ma'am. Now I will talk about the natural disasters in India. On May 2020, in the West Bengal, Hurricane Ampan came. On August 2018, Kerala floods, and on November 2015 in Chennai from Tamil Nadu, it also gets flooded. On in Ampan, May 2020, Ampan took 40 hours after its formation to become a super cyclone. The main reason behind it was the high sea surface temperature of 32 to 34 degrees Celsius. In the Bay of Bengal, generally,
Just a second, Vivek. We are
yes,
seeing
ma'am.
this on this slide. You don't need to read every word of it. And
Okay, ma'am.
besides that, we need to focus on the socio-economic issues. All right. So, yes,
Okay, ma'am.
we understand what you are trying to say with this. You maybe can switch over to the next slide. Don't read what is already written. We can see, we can read. Thank you. Take the next slide up.
Okay, ma'am. In Kerala, the in August 2018, it got flooded, ma'am. More than 400 people, 500 people died, and 140 people are missing. It was very hard for a hard time for Kerala, and thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Vivek. Okay, Vivek, before we go to the judges, I would like to ask you one thing. You talked about three problems. You talked
Yes, ma'am.
about the virus. You talked about the farmer problem, and you also talked. You said that there are a lot of natural disasters coming in India. So, what among them do you think is the biggest problem that India is facing? If you have to
COVID
choose
19,
one.
ma'am. COVID 19.
Okay, so you should have chosen just this one problem and told us more about it and your suggestions to solve it. See?
Okay,
So
ma'am.
like as your presentation went, I feel you are more concerned about the farmer problem because you had the most number of slides for the farmer problem, isn't it? Which
Yes,
state
ma'am.
do you belong to, Vivek?
Karnataka, ma'am.
Okay, Madgil sir, would you want to interact with Vivek?
I'm sorry, my internet gone off, and I could not listen to him at all. When I came, he was just switching it off. I just reconnected my computer. I am not even aware what subject he spoke. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's too bad. Okay, sir, he presented on three problems actually, but the last one is not actually a problem. It's every country faces natural disasters, Vivek, isn't it? So that is not a
Yes, ma'am.
challenge. The challenge lies in managing it. Yes. So he talked about COVID-19 and the farmer problem, both of them together, and stressed
The
more on the
farmer
farmer
problem
problem.
could have been a better one to speak about because no one
Absolutely.
really spoke about farmer problem.
Absolutely.
And I would have been more glad to hear about that because not just about, because when he came closer to the land, it could have been more about subdivision of the land. Do we still need subdivision of the land, or can we consolidate that? Can we just go back and have larger size lands? That would have been more interesting to listen to actually.
Yeah, farmer issues is a very big issue from a country point of view. Now, education gets into it, inclusive growth gets into it, the kind of spectrum what we have, and it is different. So, if you work it out the national agenda, so it will not even fit into that how we are going to take care. We may have an NEP coming up. Do we have the? I am sitting into Noida, Greater Noida. My internet gone go off, and thrice I got yesterday messages from the Airtel that we are working on the internet, and thank you for patience, we are not, it is all right. So imagine where people are sitting in the villages, how they're going to be connected with the digital world. The COVID,
Connected
what
and
point you brought it
studying.
out, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what he must have spoken on COVID. I mean, COVID is given us beautiful opportunities, is given opportunity to interact while sitting at home, sitting interacting with people at Oman and Pune and Chandigarh, Karnataka, everybody be interacting. It is only because of COVID what we are doing it. So we must be thankful to the COVID that it's woken us up, that life is beyond what we generally think. So COVID is also has got a lot of positive issues. It is helping us
But
to
that was a
embrace change.
temporary
It
problem.
is
We are
helping us
talking
to
more
embrace
about.
change in life. So it's improving our attitude in life. We generally tend to sit in a comfort zone. It says, no man, you got to come out of it, you got to see new world. Yeah, so I have not heard him what he must have brought it out. So excellent,
Shweta
very very
ma'am,
good
I would
going.
like to ask a
Very good
question to
going.
Vivek.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, is this COVID thing a problem realized by each and every individual, or it's created by the media? So when does this realization come?
Ma'am, it's actually a problem when nobody wear mask or they do not use safety measures to protect themselves. If they use safety measures to protect themselves, it will not be a problem. Only for the people who don't use them, it will be a problem for them.
So do you feel that every Indian is very serious about this problem and taking precautions accordingly?
Not every Indian, ma'am. Some people in India mostly.
Vivek, would
I
you want
have
to go
one
to offline
comment.
school?
One comment on what ma'am was talking. Sorry, I'm just getting into it. COVID for me it's a boon, because of COVID I am not taking late evenings out. I don't drive and go to friends and have socializing. My age is also, I must start checking my lifestyle. So I am so happy that I sleep by 10:30 and get up at 4:30 and work 5 hours before people starting their day. Because I always leadership, I say, as a leader, if you get up at 4:30, you're living 5 years extra vis-a-vis your friends, vis-a-vis your competitors. Because getting 4:30 means 4 hours every day you're enjoying extra to learn or do whatever you want to do. It is only because of COVID I'm got into back into the same habit which I used to have it in army. In between I lost that, but I'm very happy that I picked up again. So COVID may have some advantages, provided we keep a check on masking, distance, and do all that stuff, which is a minor issue, and have vaccination. But COVID has got a lot of advantage. It has brought a lot of advantage. And what I see the world is, people are trying to say hybrid education system. I say no, it's going to be online only. 21st, there's a university which has come up, which is a Cosmos International Research University. They have just started on 21st August, and it's a virtual university. It is starting in Delhi. It's a virtual. We had a virtual banks in America, in Australia. Now today we are going to be having virtual universities. People those talking about hybrid education, they're only talking because they have a real estate. They have big buildings, and they don't want to. They don't know what to do with that. So they're trying to run the building and also online. So COVID has given a lot of beautiful opportunities. and the world after 10 years is going to be different. I'm sure about that. Thank you for listening
So
to
it
my
all depends on the attitude. For some, it was a wound. For some, it was really a bad phase. It all depends on our own perception. On this note, moving on to the next participant. It's M. Mirachand from Kerala. M. Mirachand from
Yes,
Kerala.
ma'am.
Shweta ma'am, someone has raised his hand. Vikas Pokhrana.
because
Excuse me, ma'am. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
yes,
Okay, ma'am. Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity, it is an act of justice. Good evening to all, respected judges and all my dear friends. Myself, Emira Chand, and I'm here to speak on the topic the biggest challenge India faces today and the way ahead. And I have chosen a topic that is poverty. Poverty. The poor hygiene conditions are the cause of disease such as cholera, typhus, dysentery, in which especially children suffer and die. In poverty in India impacts the children and families in their variety of different ways. In two-thirds of people in India live in poverty. 68.8% of Indian population lives on less than $2 a day. Over 30% even less than $1.25 per day, then they consider extremely poor. And this makes the Indian subcontinent one of the poorest countries in the world. Women and the children, the weakest members of Indian society, and they suffer the most. India is the second most populous country after China, with about 1.2 million people and is the seventh largest country in the world in its area. Poverty in India is preventing children from getting an education. More than 800 million people in India are considered poor. Most of them live in countryside and keep afford with odd jobs. The lack of employment, which provides livable wages in rural areas, is driving many people to metropolitan cities like Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, or Kolkata. There, most of them expect a life of poverty and despair in the mega slum made of millions of corrugated ironworks without sufficient drinking water supply, without garbage disposal, and many cases without electricity. And here are the poverty in India impacts children, families, and individuals in a variety of different ways through high infant portability, malnutrition, child labor, lack of education, child marriage, HIV or AIDS. And these are some of the ways that problem to solve in India, poverty in India. India has been showing a steep and a stable HDP growth rate, which has impressed investors around the world. However, due to some countries inability to bridge the gap between the rich and poor, the people living in the rural areas are still suffering from poverty. Undoubtedly, this is a huge economic crisis that must be addressed immediately. And here are some of the few steps that which can be solved in poverty in our country. Equality and representation for all, building resilience, focusing on climate change, increase and access of education, improve food security and access to clean water, end water and conflict, embrace cash and microfinance. And these are some of my point of view towards the poverty in our country. And our country, if we work together and if we join our hands together towards the present situation, I think we can overcome this typical situation in our motherland. Each one of us need to think about it and work for it. Teach the present generation to love the country and to protect the country. And we have many other challenges like illiteracy, linguism, and corruption, etc. I believe that if we get rid of poverty in our country, then automatically all other problems will be solved. Because of poverty, people are not able to give proper education to the children, then they are able to work for use their brain for all other activities and not able to give to die to their families also. So I strongly believe that if we find some solution to get rid of this poverty, then everything will be okay in our country. And that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Meera, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Meera. You covered a very, very vast aspect. I would want Ms. Dana to comment on that.
Meera,
Ma'am.
you started well. You started well. You started with poverty, and I was really anxious. I was waiting to hear more about poverty because it is a topic that we have to talk in any forum because of the very there's prosperity on one side and there's poverty on one side in India. There's a big gap. So there's some people who don't know what to do with money, and there are some people who don't have enough money. So there's an imbalance there. So it's a very good topic to speak. But you would have known by yourself because although you took poverty, you're not able to sense poverty. If you ask a child who is poor, will tell you more about poverty, how difficult it is. There's a proverb in Tamil that says that the worst thing in life is poverty and being poor when they are young. And I know you must have researched and got all of these points from internet, but you don't have to go to internet to write about poverty. You could write just on your own because probably you are seeing many kids who are around you. I saw a post on FB posted by my own friend. A child selling the national flags was so tired, slept on the pavement. And my friend took a picture and he put it on the Facebook. And I was thinking, what would go through with that child? Maybe a 7-year-old kid have to sell national flags on August 15, did not sleep, sleeping in the middle of the day on the pavement. It's a girl child, maybe 8 years. That's poverty. The child could not go to school. The child is selling national flags when all the children are having holidays. That's poverty. It's not right, like, reading the lines on the, and as you said that, everything will be okay in our thing. I think that everything will be okay. Is the innocence in you, is the innocent child in you. It's a very, very sensitive topic. And, for me, I would have felt that even if you would have just spoken what you would have seen as poverty, like I would have appreciated it more, because this is not a topic that you should research and write. You should feel and write, because you are surrounded by poverty in India. You're not brought up in US, or you're not brought up in Oman to see poverty anywhere. It's everywhere. And the other thing which I want to say is that if we could not eradicate poverty for 75 years in this country, then it could even stay in India for another 75 years. It's not a problem that could easily be tackled. And also, when you talk about poverty, you need to talk only about poverty, not about anything else. You're also, because I feel most of the children who are speaking here start off fast, but are getting losing focus in the topic, because you need to have that sensation. You're here to talk about how to make that change, so you need to talk with that strength. We need to hear the presentation, like saying, these, even if you don't have solution, that doesn't matter, because no one found a solution for 75 years in India, so it doesn't matter. But you could have spoken about socialization. That's the first thing. Insurance, medical insurance for everybody. Tax, instead of tax, the people could increase more of how to diversify the money before the tax is paid. These are the kind of solutions that we can still speak. It will stay in theory. It's not going to happen in practice, but still, those are the kind of things that should come to your mind. Because when you see a child who is begging on the street, what do you think when you are going by car with your parents? Like, oh, I want to help this child, how do I do this? That's the point you have to write here. It might not even be a solution that you can take to the larger room, but that's what we want to hear. The many ideas that you presented is not even original. It's not your idea. It's not like what you thought, isn't it? Did you write?
That's not a problem, Meera. You're so young. You're just trying to understand and know how to, say what you want to say. So it was perfectly fine that way. What the judges are telling you is how to present yourself better. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you were wrong in any way. No one is wrong over here. We're all the
Yeah,
same.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's not what I mean at all. But what I'm saying is that when you copy from the internet and write, that energy is lost. You need to. If you have even told about one incident that happened that struck your mind, that affected you, that you want to talk about this problem, that's the start of the problem. What you would want to change around you, that you want to see a better India. Something like that. But all the children are making their own effort. It's not easy to speak for 5 minutes on these sort of big topics.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Yes, you know, very well spoken. All right. Again, too many words, and you're trying to read the slides. All students may be doing it. Like poverty, is it a cause or an effect? So we got to see it from that aspect. So when you're presenting, also, is it the students are being not checked at the school because they are high school students? Somebody in the school must have told them how much material should be there on the slides.
No, sir.
It
No,
means
sir.
yeah.
In most
So
of the slides,
so are you
most of
supposed
the
to? No,
schools, we
these
are
are
not
basic.
teaching to present. That is why our forum
These are the
comes in.
basic in presentation. You're not supposed to read the slides. So it means it is not their fault. I mean,
No, no.
at their age, I
Absolutely.
wouldn't have been able to present. And they're doing a marvelous job. That's not the point. Point is, since we are interacting and they must pick up the points, please do not write so much stuff on these slides. Do not read the slides the way Dana is telling, that you must have conviction whatever you want to say. Go to Google, but bring it in your own words what you want to present. And also remember, these are beautiful challenges what the country has, but is it a cause or an effect? Poverty is the cause or an effect? If it is an effect, what is the cause behind? It's a tip of the iceberg. What is the reasons behind the poverty? Is
Or
it the
maybe it's both.
education is missing? We are not able to reach the masses to educate them, and because that is the result which leads to poverty. So those things can also be connected, but this is a challenge. There's no doubt about it. Very beautifully said. And
So
these are
very
small
good,
points
Meera.
what I brought it up.
Very
Yes,
good, Meera.
Thank you,
yes,
ma'am.
The
Can I ask
takeaways are,
Meera something?
of course, ma'am. I just wanted
Yes.
to say that take this as a learning experience. I know schools, all of our schools are not exactly, making you present things, and we're not doing it on a regular basis. And even if we have started, we've just started afresh in the online phase. So all these instructions that you're being, suggestions that you're being given to by experts over here, they will help you to become better presenters, better speakers, and overall a very, very sensitive as well as effective adults, right?
yes.
Yes, ma'am. You wanted to say something,
Meera.
please?
Meera, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. If there is an hungry child in front of you, what would you do to help him? Would you give him money or would
Ma'am,
you give something?
ma'am, I'll be
Yes,
giving food. I'll be providing food to them.
that's like a good girl. Yes, good girl. This is the answer I was waiting for.
Okay, ma'am. And I will try to improve it, sir. And thank you for your advices. Thank you.
That's the spirit, Mira.
Absolutely.
Actually,
Good
the
girl.
problem is not that the children are not learning. The problem is also along with the parents who are being overprotective to the child. So the child hardly sees poverty. The child is very much into their own comfortable zone. So they can't even imagine what is poverty. उनके लिए बस एक अगर वो chocolate में नहीं मिला, so that is नहीं यार मुझे नहीं मिला. They are not facing the real world. So maybe that is what lacking right now. But yes, Meera took it in the right spirit and she has assured us to think over it. Moving to the next participant, it's Christina from Abu Dhabi. Christina from Abu Dhabi. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
Christina.
Yes. Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes, Christina.
Okay. Suicides, debt burden, falling prices of produce, and many more. India's farm economy is in turmoil.
Massive protests by farmers swept India late last year as thousands of them marched to Delhi, Kolkata, and Mumbai in the last week of November alone. A very good evening to one and all present here. Today I am going to speak on the India's agrarian catastrophe, the problem and the solution. So, Indian agriculture has made commendable progress in the past 75 years, and India is self-sufficient in many different fields. The underlying reasons for agrarian distress in India they have various reasons, such as low productivity, unfavorable term of trade for agriculture, and so much more. So let's talk about it in specific. So, what is an agrarian catastrophe? An agrarian catastrophe essentially means that there is a problem being related with cultivation or farming as such. Many new farmers have given up their lives in the battle against capitalism. In the years following market liberalization, there has been so much of change that we've seen in India and in various different fields, in the primary sector, tertiary sector, and so many. But there are so many farmers who own less than 2 hectares of land and marginal farmers with less than 1 hectare of land, which is a very small size of land. So what is the exact problem now? Obviously, it's a very large problem and it's very difficult to pinpoint. But some reasons could be low productivity, higher incidence of indebtedness, small and fragmented land holdings, inavailability of seeds, manures, fertilizers, and biocides. According to the 59th round of the National Sample Survey, about 40% of farmers wanted to abandon agriculture, mainly because it's become a highly unviable occupation in the sense farming just doesn't give you the livelihood that it would 70 or 50 years ago. So in detail, let's talk about fragmented land holding. So fragmented land holding essentially is occurring because of the transfer of land on the basis of inheritance law. The land belonging to the father is equally divided among the sons, and this goes on for generations, and the land is fragmented and it slowly depletes in size. Different lands have different levels of fertility and they're supposed to be distributed according to that. But if they are being distributed according to in the family, in between multiple sons or in between two sons, the land will get smaller. In this way, it becomes more fragmented with each passing generation. Secondly, availability of seeds. Now, seeds are a very critical and basic necessity for a farmer. But good quality seeds are out of reach of majority of farmers, and especially to small and marginal farmers because of the large and high prices of seeds. In order to solve this problem, the government of India actually established the National Seed Corporation in 1963 and the State Farmers Corporation of India in 1969. These programs have been launched and there has been change, but it's still not as much as we'd like to see. The policy statements are designed towards making the seeds available to an Indian farmer and superior quality and so as to meet the country's food and nutritional security goals. The epidemic of suicides. Now, this is a very sensitive topic, as we've seen in the news. Every single day we get up and we see the newspaper and news articles about so many farmers who have given up their lives. And for most people, they would be a mere number. But when you think about it, as a nation, 300,000 farmers losing their lives is not a small number. There's such a large amount of talent and such a large amount of people that are being lost every day because of farming. So the scale of this crisis can be gauged by the number of farm workers. The main reasons of farmers giving up their lives are because of lack of money, lack of adequate excuse me, just give me a sec. Yeah, there's a lack for farmers and they are not able to provide for their families, in which case their only escape is suicide. Possible solutions. Now, obviously, these are just possible solutions and on a small scale. So the first one could be farm loan waiver as a solution to bail farmers out in distress situations. Now, obviously, if you're a small scale farmer, getting access to a bank account and asking for a loan in a bank would be very difficult. And mostly people end up buying or taking loans from money lenders who charge enormous amounts of interest on it, which then makes it debt on debt on debt. So maybe if a farm loan waiver was given to the farmers, they could make so much more help of it. Borrowing of microfinance and self-help groups have remained outside the loan waiver scheme due to difficulty in segregating farm loans and total microloans. There's a debatable issue such as rich farmers are eligible for higher farm loans than poor farmers, as I said. Mentioned farmers and landless laborers who are the poorest of the poor usually don't get access to bank loans, and hence a loan waiver would likely benefit rich farmers. Number two, widening crop insurance. One of the initiatives of the central government was to launch the PMFBY to reduce the farmer's burden in case of crop failure. It is yet to be fully implemented throughout the country, though it is present, and it is going to take time for the government to fully implement this. It creates incentives, and therefore farmers do not have to go for crop insurance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christina. Yeah. Christina, before I go to the judges, I would like to ask one thing from you. Why did you choose this particular topic?
Thank you for the question. When you get up in the morning and you are bombarded by such heavy news lines and people talking about there's such a large loss in such large scale, obviously it would disturb you to a certain extent. And obviously, India as a country is full of talent and there are so many different problems. Very difficult to pick one to talk on. But I feel like this topic really speaks to me because it's talking about loss of people as a whole, and it is going to affect the production in India and talking about food and accessibility, accessibility of grains and produce to the population as a whole.
So access of food was the touch point. Yeah. I would open the discussion for the judges, please. Anyone who wants to comment.
I really enjoyed this topic. Can I go first?
Sure.
Wonderful topic, Christina. Very well presented. And, what I liked about your presentation is that it was small and you went deep. I have a question to ask you, because we always look at farming field as, something that we have to go and help because as though they, it's not a profitable business or something like that. How to make, first of all, farming a profitable sector?
Okay, so I feel like in this way, in this situation, as a student of business, or if I'm managing or doing something in the field of business or economics, I would try to go to the farmer and kind of start a business for them. So instead of having middlemen, and because they end up taking a lot of the profits, and the farmers don't get as much as they should. So I would try to open a business for them through which they would be able to get the exact amount of profits and money that they should be, and helping them instead of having them giving it to middlemen. And they don't really, obviously most farmers are, not well educated when it comes to terms of money and other such things, so they wouldn't exactly know, and they have to pay large amounts of loan if they're taking. They have to pay large amounts of interest on loans. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. That was the first one, because now we are in the digital age, and there are some villages which is completely digitalized also in India, because fragmentation is one of the thing that you spoke about. Do you think that consolidation of land is an answer that we can make the land produce more profitable? Because, for example, if there is a consolidation of land instead of fragmentation, and people keep their rights on the land but produce together, and if they have a sort of a unity to sell it, like cooperation, and then they have an online system to sell it to the direct wholesalers or something, do you think that, because every time government has to step into them to solve their issue, how do we tell them, like, you could solve your own issue, but maybe come together and do it? Is it workable?
I feel like in that sense, it depends on the ethics of the farmer themselves because, if as I've talking about ancestral division of land, many farmers have maybe even 1 hectare of land, but if they all come together, as you said, if they all come together and start mass producing, I
Yes.
feel like that would be very profitable.
And also take it to the market before it's perishing, and then having this food preservations and all of that, so food is not wasted, has a more storage. It's a very interesting topic, Christina. I totally enjoyed it, and well presented. Good, well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judges, anyone has any 2 bits to give to Christina? Most welcome. Christina, I feel your slides could have been slightly better. It was a lot of text. Yeah. So the scope of improvement slightly, if you could do that, it would become even more gripping. So cut down on the text, put some pictures, only the punchlines, and then go. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Great.
Yeah, let the audience be curious about what is Christina going to speak about.
Absolutely.
So yes, coming to our last participant, it's Ashish Kashyap from Uttar Pradesh. Ashish Kashyap from Uttar Pradesh.
Is Ashish there? Okay, I don't think he is
Swapnil
there.
Patel, even you were not there. Is Swapnil Patel in, ma'am, now? Is he in? Swapnil Patel or Abhishek Katiyar? Ashish Kashyap. So that's end of the list.
No, I don't think. We have a special guest with us today. We
Yeah.
have Miss Rashmi Tyagi. Welcome, ma'am. Could you please switch on your camera? We are so curious. Rashmi, ma'am, can you hear
Hello,
us?
everybody. I'm very happy that today the things are going on very well, and we have got wonderful speakers today, and the judges are really excellent. I know them personally. I can see Sunil sir, I can see Namrata, she's our moderator, and I can see my dear Queenie, Paskino is there, and of course, Shweta, you are there. So it is very good. And I have heard these young dynamic speakers, and they have really spoke very well. And I was thinking that whether I should learn something from them. And their analysis was really wonderful, and it is very good. So you have achieved your goal, our Abdul Kalam Foundation. So, and we should keep on doing all this. Congratulations, all these pretty girls. They look pretty, but they speak very strong. I want to say that. So
the boys too.
Yes, yes. So please keep it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, Rashmi ma'am. Glad that you made it today. We are so happy to have you here. And yes, belated happy birthday. It was your birthday.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's great.
Actually, I'm in Roorkee today.
Yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much, sir. At this,
Happy birthday, ma'am.
we
So,
feel so happy. Thank you, everyone. And I'm at Roorkee today. I'm not in Mumbai. I'm near you people.
So, ma'am, you can drop in then. I'm in Dehradun. You can drop in here. We can celebrate.
Okay, I'll drop in. Definitely, because I came from Mumbai to Dehradun directly. There is a direct flight, and बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है यहाँ पर. So it was really good. I don't know, but okay, I'll come on the camera also. It is fine.
That's lovely, ma'am. Thank you so much.
How many speakers are there? I can see these young ladies.
Ma'am, we have had all the speakers for today. We have finished with the presentations, and now it's time for the judges to share their experiences.
Okay.
No, I am
Yes,
I am the last participant, ma'am. I should be given chance.
Absolutely, sir.
आपके बिना पूरा ही
Please.
नहीं होगा ना. नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार.
मैंने शुरू में थोड़ा मैं हिंदी बोलूंगा क्योंकि हम हिंदुस्तान से हैं तो थोड़ा हिंदी भी हो जाना चाहिए.
हिंदी तो बहुत अच्छी है. ये तो हमारा गौरव है कि हम हिंदी में.
तो मैंने शुरू में 2 लाइन सुनाया था. मैं समझता हूँ कि ये बहुत ही अच्छा. रश्मि मैम इज देयर, तो मुझे लगता है कि सुनाना चाहिए वो. और बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। ये भारत की बात है, ये भारत की बात है। आओ आओ भारत की बात लिखते हैं, आओ आओ भारत की बात लिखते हैं। मिले जो हम साथ हैं तो भारत की इतिहास लिखते हैं।
क्या बात है,
बहुत अच्छा,
मिले
बहुत
जो साथ हैं तो भारत की इतिहास लिखते हैं। भारती की भाल पे, भाल मीन्स माता, भारती की भाल पे 9 दर्प हम चढ़ाएंगे। भारती की भाल पे 9 दर्प हम चढ़ाएंगे। 9 हस्त से, हाथ से 9 हस्त से 9 रत्न कई बनाएंगे।
वेरी गुड।
डॉक्टर कलाम का जो है ये ड्रीम है। 9 हस्त से 9 रत्न कई बनाएंगे। न तिमिर न भ्रांति हो, तिमिर मीन्स अंधेरा, भ्रांति मीन्स डाउट। न तिमिर न भ्रांति हो, चहु ओर बस शांति हो। चारों तरफ चहु ओर बस शांति हो। धरा क्या यानी धरती, धरा क्या अंबर पर भी विजय पताका फहराएंगे। धरा क्या अंबर पर भी विजय पताका फहराएंगे। भारत की गौरव गाथा पुनः हम दोहराएंगे। क्योंकि ये भारत की बात है, क्योंकि ये भारत की बात है। आओ आओ भारत की बात लिखते हैं। मिले जो हम साथ हैं तो भारत की इतिहास लिखते हैं, तो भारत की इतिहास लिखते हैं।
क्या बात है,
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। आप लिखते हैं, हिंदी में कविताएं लिखते हैं सर?
हिंदी में कविताएं थोड़ी थोड़ी लिख लेता हूं मैं।
जी, मैं भी लिखती हूँ, तो मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा लगा ये हिंदी के इतने अच्छे शब्द आपने जो बोले हैं, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। और हमें सब लोगों को, बच्चों को, यंगस्टर्स को भी बोलना चाहिए कि अपनी हिंदी भाषा की जो इतनी प्यारी सी कविताएं हैं, इनको बोलना, वो भी सीखना चाहिए।
तो मैम 2 लाइन आपसे हो जाए ना, 2 लाइन फ्रॉम यू।
मुझे इस वक्त एक्चुअली आई एम नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड। आप इतना अच्छा बोले कि अब मेरी बोलने की हिम्मत आज नहीं है, तैयार
मैम नहीं, वी कैन लर्न अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स फ्रॉम यू मैम।
तो मैं उस हिसाब से, आपने जो इतना अच्छा बोला है वो मैं जरूर अगली बार मैं जरूर बोलने वाली हूँ अपने भारतवर्ष के ऊपर कुछ एक अच्छी।
Absolutely, और ये हम सब, this is for all the contestants here. Please do not forget your locals, local language. Go back to your roots. Don't put your local language behind English. English is very, very necessary, but your local language, your mother tongue, never forget it. Right?
वेरी राइट मैम। और जब बात अपनी भाषा में कही जाती है ना, तो वो बिल्कुल दिल से लगती है, यहाँ तक नहीं, वो बिल्कुल यहाँ तक पहुंचती है। और उसी वजह से अब तो एनईपी 2020 में भी वो किया है कि नहीं भी मदर टंग में पढ़ाओ आप बच्चों को। लेट द चिल्ड्रन गेट कनेक्टेड टू देयर ओन लैंग्वेज।
NEP, even the regional languages they have to learn, and English also, everything. I mean, they should multilingual.
Okay, so today it was a very nice, short, and crisp show. And we wanted it to be that way. In fact, I would be delighted if our judges could share their experiences. How did they like the show? How did they find our young participants? What do they think the youth of India thinks, and how do you perceive it? Paskin ma'am, starting with you this time.
Yes, ma'am. It was really a wonderful experience to listen to these youngsters. I think when we were at their age, I don't think we had that much of confidence level in us. But it's really nice to see how digitally they are grooming themselves and willingly expressing what they feel or what they are going through. What I found is there is no hesitation among themselves. Whatever they were prepared it, they presented it well. And I feel this is a great opportunity given to the youngsters to express their talent. And I'm really thankful to you for allowing me to be a part of this session today. I really got to learn a lot. And if not as a jury, but whenever such events are conducted, I would really request you to please do invite me. Thank you so much. And well done
Thank
to
you
all
so
the
much,
participants.
ma'am. You will always be a part of us. Madgil sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Sudhakar sir. Thank you, Shweta ma'am. You always give me a lot of honors by inviting me on such a big platform. Very good. And the students were great. The way in the beginning only I said is going to be reverse mentoring. I learned a lot from them, and I can name it one by one, and that what I learned today from them. But I can also give them, I can also give them back because I learned a lot, and I want to give them back with a small little story and a key takeaway from them. Is not directly connected with the presentation, but with the theme of the presentation what we had today. uh, you know, we all know Mahatma Gandhi. So people used to come to him when he was renowned, and they used to come to him for asking, solutions for the problems. One day, the lady came with a 7, 8 years old son, and stood in the queue when the turn came, gone to Mahatma ji and said, "My son, eats a lot of sweets, and I want you to please advise him that he will destroy his teeth as he grows." So Mahatma ji said, "Okay, ma'am, please come after 2 weeks. I will give the advice." And the people around were surprised that Mahatma always had a answer for everything, had a solution for everything, and advice for everything. How come he asked the lady to come after 2 weeks? Well, the lady came after 2 weeks, and got in and stood in the queue, got the turn, so brought the child. Mahatma gave the advice, and whatever advice he said, basically he said, "Please don't eat sweets; they destroy your teeth," and something like that. Once it was over, the lady said, "Thank you very much, sir, but I have a question." He said, "Please tell me." The lady said, "This advice could have been given even two weeks back also. Why you taken 2 weeks to do that?" Mahatma Gandhi said, "2 weeks back, I myself used to eat a lot of sweets. In these 2 weeks, I have stopped eating sweets. Today, I can say I don't eat sweets, and that is how I can give advice to the child." What I'm trying to say, friends, it's a very beautiful topic. I am my salute to Sudhakar sir and Shweta ma'am, and picking up such a beautiful topic. The challenge the India had. The challenges are plenty, corruption, the education, the sanitation, the water, anything you think of is a challenge for a country. What you as young leaders, with what you need to do is, and spread the word across, is what Mahatma has done. Walk the talk. What we do, I must follow myself first. In around areas, whatever you see, that is how the challenges can be taken on. Otherwise, nothing. The way ma'am said, 75 years back it was there, 75 years ahead it's also going to be there. India can only change when you start walk the talk, lead by example. You see that it doesn't happen with you, doesn't happen with people around. The nation will automatically grow and become a superpower. What my friend, the dream of Sudhakar sir is, the country is going to be superpower in the days to come. Thank you for giving me platform, and always giving me opportunity to speak. Thank you, Shweta ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Ms. Dhanna, thank you so much for joining from Oman, and it was great
It's
having
my
you.
pleasure, Shweta. It's my pleasure because, I had the experience what I wanted to have. And my greatest appreciation goes to Mr. Sudhakar and yourself. Because in a world when people think so much about themselves and doing everything that benefits themselves, and you have come out with an event that benefits the children, because I think even the kids enjoy the most part of schooling, the schooling period, what children enjoy the most, it's attending some events where they don't have to be children, where they don't have to follow all of those studious norms that each and every school around the world, they have their own rules, and the teachers will make them sit in one place and not move, listen to me, take down the notes and write what I have to say you. But only in the events you can be yourself, you can express yourself, and you gave that opportunity to all the children. And that's what matters the most about life, anybody's life, having that opportunity and giving that opportunity to others. And you gave that opportunity to me also, because I could be myself today. I think I ragged a few kids, but that's just that's just having some entertainment in the event. Then we cannot keep on loving everybody. We need to have a little bit of cynic added to it, and I think I did my part. But kids, it's fantastic. You need to make use of such events, such forums, to express yourself more. You need to break the barriers what school puts on you, what the education puts on you. Have to come more original. Spread your thoughts, whether it's right or not, whether it's going to get you prize or not, doesn't matter, because you participated like how you are, and it was an opportunity to discover yourself. So this forum and many other forums, wherever you participate, take this one thing with you, that understand the topic very well, aim at winning as well, but then make sure that you are yourself, not change yourself for the cup. You don't have to. You're expressing your views. If it's criticized by jury like me, doesn't matter, but you were you yourself, so that's what matters. And always speak what really inspires you, not something that your parents say, you know what, this is a popular topic, juries will be inspired. You don't have to inspire us. Be yourself, then you will inspire us. I mean, me or any person for that matter. Congrats, well done to all of you, Shweta, Sudhakar, fantastic, and all the judges. It was great meeting you all. It's like a sudden friendship. I really enjoyed. Thank you so much, Shweta. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dana ma'am. Participants, please stay in the group. As you all know, we would have session 3 on September 8, and after that, we would release the result declaration day. It would be a very grand day for all of us, and we are all requested to join us and take the results. But before I end, I would call Namrata ma'am to say a few words. She has been our moderator for 2 consecutive sessions. I would love to hear how her experience has been.
Falling short of words now after. But yes, mesmerizing experience, what I would call, yes, a great learning experience. Happy that these young children, they have started thinking about the problems at least, and when we know what the problem lies, only then we can find the solutions. So yes, we suggested a few things. We are happy that yes, you're coming up on your solutions as well as the problem. You are in a way showing us what are the problems which we might not be seeing, but yes, you are focusing on it and making us aware of those, so that we all can work upon it. And this generation is the future generation. It's the future ready generation, that I would say, which is ready for the change, which is ready to take the responsibilities on their own shoulders now. So yes, hoping for a much more better India. We, of course, we all are working, but yes, a lot of expectations now from you all too. And thank you, Kalam Foundation. Thank you, Sudhakar sir. Thank you, Shweta ma'am, for inviting me for such a wonderful session. Really glad to be here with such eminent speakers and eminent people of their own field. Glad to connect with them this session also and last session also. So happy for the new connections too. It's not feeling that we all are meeting for the first time. Thank you for making me that comfortable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Namrata ma'am. Sudhakar sir, would you have the last word on behalf of Dr. Kalam India Foundation, saying something to the young kids?
ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट आया डॉक्टर कलाम इंडिया फाउंडेशन का, तो आप सबने सुना होगा सुशील कुमार जी, जो कि हमारे रेसलर और जिन्होंने देश के लिए बहुत कुछ किया, बहुत शोहरत कमाई, मेडल्स कमाए, बहुत कुछ किया, लेकिन लास्टली हुआ क्या? What happened lastly? He is behind the bars. So the thought came, why is it happening? And that was the very day Dr. Kalam India Foundation came into being. And that was the thought, why shouldn't we create a platform whereby we give message of Dr. Abdul Kalam कि हम एक संस्कार से पूर्ण जो है भारत बनाए, और ऐसा भारत जो केवल संस्कार से ही नहीं बल्कि अत्याधुनिक जो टेक्नोलॉजी है उससे वो पूरी तरह से संपूर्ण हो. So that was, the only reason that we created, and I shared it with Shweta ma'am, and then Tarachand sir, and then Sunil sir, and they said the idea is very fantastic and we should go ahead. So when we started, we did not know what to do, what not to do. But the thing is that where there is a will, there is a way. आप जब चाहते हो, जहाँ जाना चाहते हो, इच्छा होनी चाहिए आपकी. You should have a strong will, and you would be able to do it. And I see so many people, at this platform. We are more than, around 300-400 members in the group, and they all are contributing. And in the days to come, you will see that there's a lot, many things happening. So we are trying to reach each and every part of corner of India, even the villages. So the real India is in villages. So we are going to touch that part as well very soon. And you will see that a student from a village is performing here. And that is what I'm waiting for. We are waiting for. And that will the day when the dream of real India, the dream of Dr. APJ Kalam comes true. So with these words, thank you very much for everybody. Sunil sir, Dhana ma'am, Namrata ma'am, and ma'am, आपका नाम मैं भूल रहा हूँ विजन इंटरनेशनल स्कूल से.
Pasqueen.
Pasqueen ma'am, and all the youngsters here, they did a tremendous job. Thank you very much. Krishna, you are from Abu Dhabi, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So even
Yes,
if you are there, you can contribute. You can inspire the youngsters here, and you can contribute to the growth of India. Right. So with these words, thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Sweda ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, it's a parent of Meera, ma'am. Can I say a few words, ma'am? Doesn't matter.
Of course. Sure, ma'am. You're most welcome.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am, and to all others. Really, I'm very happy to see all the great judges over here, really. And I'm very happy to say that my child got an opportunity in this a great program. I never thought of having such a great program. Really, I'm very happy and very thankful to Sweda ma'am and also Sudharan sir for arranging such a great, wonderful platform for our kids. Anyway, she presented her side. I don't know. Anyway, we learned a lot. I was hearing all the presentations till now. Right from 6:50, I'm sitting over here, and I was along with her. And really, I learned a lot from this gathering. And this is all because of the opportunity which you are given to us. Really, the children learned a lot, ma'am. Thank you for arranging such a great platform.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You made our day. You were with us from 6:50. It's so overwhelming. Thank you so much.
After the class, I just joined because I am a teacher in KG section, ma'am. So after the classes, I just joined with her, just to see how the presentations are going on, because it's the first time where we are going to see different children from different states. That is the opportunity what is given you. Really know what to say. Thank you, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Meera can continue participating in all other events as well. She can stay connected with me or any one of us from the group on a personal level, and she can definitely continue participating in all our events. We would be more than happy.
Dana, ma'am, especially thank you for you, ma'am. Really pointed out something, and you really explained what is the difference which we have to make in next presentations.
You're a nice mom, because when you sit next to your child, your children have double the interest in what they are doing, and they feel more meaningful when their mother sit next to them. You're really nice, because you said that you finished your work, came back, and then you sat next to her. That's really great. It's not like you left her alone, and then, I mean, other moms might be having other work to do. But it was really good that you sat, you listened to other kids talking,
yes,
not just your.
Throughout the program, I was just sitting and listening.
That's very nice.
सब बच्चे हमारा ही है, एक नहीं है, सब लोग हमारा ही है. So क्यों नहीं सुन सकते हैं मैम? जो भी हम सीखेंगे वो सब सीखेंगे.
That's the true Indian spirit.
This is what Bharat is all about.
Thank you, Namrata ma'am and sir, everybody. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, these words, it will go a great long way for us, and it reconfirms our belief that we are on the right track. And
Definitely, sir, definitely.
and we know that India is going to regain its lost pride because of mothers like you. Really, you made our day, as Sweta ma'am said, and this will go a long way. आपको नमन है मैम.
धन्यवाद sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Chaliye, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night, everyone.